and we're doing a leash walk. So this is a presentation for sure, but it's also a training session for Tendai. These guys are great ambassadors for conservation and for their species. And of course, a lot of people can come here to Busch Gardens to see the cheetahs, but not everybody can. So we train the cheetahs to actually do outreach programs. They visit TV stations and classrooms. And also, just coming out here on the sidewalk gives all of you a much different encounter with the cheetah than maybe just seeing them on the habitat. So we'll aim to connect our guests to our animals in lots of different ways. That's our main goal. So we want to really give you guys up-close personal experiences so that you get to know these animals on a different level than maybe just seeing them in a book or on TV or again just on the habitat. So this is great for him. It's great mental and physical stimulation. He gets to come out here and see new things, hear new things, smell new things. You get to see him again off the habitat, so really it's beneficial for everyone involved. He is pretty good at leash walking, although practice does make perfect. The more we go to novel or new areas, the better it'll get. That way when we do end up in a classroom or a TV station, somewhere he's never been before, he's going to be a bit more comfortable than if we don't take him out and visit places like this. And as you can see, there's lots of things in the environment here. There's places and people and stanchions and music, people talking on the microphone, lots of things happen here at the park. So because he's used to all of this, that also kind of generalized to other areas that he maybe has never seen before. So we try to do this as much as possible, again, for him and for all of you. But it is something that he's learning, so it's always variable when we come out here. We don't come out at the same time every day. We don't stay out here for the same length of time. His brother, Tabo, also does the leash walk, so we split it up between the two of them to make sure that they're both getting out here as much as possible. He's checking all of you out as much as you're checking him out. Cheetahs are an endangered species because they eat their cheetahs. He likes to eat them. We're working on right now is not too long. So we're going to get we're going to move this box forward. Cheetahs are incredibly visual animals, so I'm going to let him see them move that box rather than getting a little bit scared about moving behind him. But they do like to sit up high and kind of look out so that they can see everything going on around them. That's something that they would do in Africa as well. These guys are, of course, predators. Does anybody know what cheetahs eat?
Gazelles.
Yeah, gazelles. Slightly antelope species typically are favorite prey to cheetahs, but they are opportunistic hunters, so they'll go for whatever's available as well. But while they're a predator, they're definitely not a top predator. There are bigger, badder predators in Africa that can outcompete the cheetah. And those things could be hyenas, lions, even people compete with cheetahs. So they're a little more flighty than, say, a lion or a tiger. But other big cats use a little bit more brute force. They're a little bit more bold cheetahs because they do have to compete and get out-competed by those other animals. They're a little more flighty, so they like to see what's going on around them. So he was pretty comfortable down there on the ground, but we like to give him an opportunity to get out high and see how it's going. Now these guys do need a lot of help. There are not that many cheetahs out there in the world. In fact, only about 7,000 cheetahs worldwide right now. So we have to do our part to help protect and conserve them. And the cheetahs here at the park play a really important role in that conservation effort. So they help out in lots of different ways. They do participate in a breeding program. That's called species survival. So they work to make more cheetahs, of course. Being only 7,000 left in the world, we need to make more of them. But also, we need to make sure that they are a viable population. So we want to create as much genetic diversity in their population as a whole. So we do work with other accredited zoos here in the United States to mix and match and play the dating game with our cheetahs to make sure that we're always diversifying our people as much as we possibly can. Also, we have these guys here at the park 365 days a year. We're also here all day, every day, so we have a great opportunity to really learn more about them. All of our cheetahs are trained. We train them all with positive reinforcement, just like we train our elephants or our gorillas or even our killer whales or dolphins. All the same training across the board. So all positive reinforcement driven training. We don't rely on any form of punishment or negative reinforcement to motivate the animals. So what that comes down to is that they always have choices. They can choose to participate or not. They can be correct or incorrect. But most importantly, they always have a choice. They're working with us because they want to, not because they have to. That's different than traditional animal training. You never hear us talking about showing them who's boss or being dominant over them. We're not part of their social structure in any way. We try to just be the good guys that come around and do fun things and give them fun things. And what that does is, again, provide a lot of choice, but it allows us to train a lot of important behaviors that help us better manage them and take care of them better as well. So very basic things like maybe getting on a scale is important to know how much they weigh, opening their mouth so we can check their teeth and gums, and then a lot more complex and important behaviors. They will do voluntary blood drops, so they'll actually let us hold their tail, stick a needle in their vein and draw blood. So just like our doctors draw blood from our arm, your cheetah, a good place to get a blood sample is from the tail. We've done ultrasounds and x-rays, again, all choice-based, all positive reinforcement. So you can imagine cheetahs in Africa are not walking up to researchers giving them their tail to draw blood. You can get blood from a cheetah in Africa, but it's a lot more invasive and a lot more difficult for everybody involved to do. So these guys, we can get a blood sample on them every day if we wanted to. We don't, but we could. So if there's a research project that maybe would warrant getting a blood sample more regularly, we can absolutely do that. So we have a really unique opportunity to participate in things like research to learn more about cheetahs. Now I mentioned that positive reinforcement training. We reinforce these guys lots of different ways. They do eat things like gazelles. They are carnivores. Meat is a great reinforcer for a cheetah. We might use some produce for a gorilla or an elephant or fish for a whale or a dolphin. We do? Okay. We'll get over there just a second. So we do use food, but they do have to have all of their food every day no matter what. And so that means we don't take food away from them or we don't make them hungry. If they're incorrect or they choose not to participate, they still get all of their food every day. So we'll come up with other things that they like, but they don't have to have. Broth today, sometimes just water in a squirt bottle. And of course they do have water all day, every day. But drinking out of a squirt bottle is a little more reinforcing. They like that. Could be a favorite toy, could be scratches behind ears. Right now, Tendai, I think, is just tolerating that a little bit. It's not really loving it. So we get to know them, whether they like that or don't like that. Maybe one moment they do like to be scratched, another moment they don't. And a lot of times they'll actually find moving on to another behavior or location reinforcing as well. So I've worked with a lot of animals. You can do a whole demonstration or show for no food at all. They do it just because it's fun. Animals are designed to learn. So that's a little bit of how we do train our cheetahs here at the park. All right, no leashes. Come on down here, we're going to walk. While we are walking Tendai, hopefully, you can check out his nails on his feet. He has lots of them. You can see them there. They probably look more like your dog's nails, though, than maybe a cat's nails. And that's because while cheetahs are cats, they're very specialized cats. So they have semi-retractable claws, you can see down there. They are almost always out. Most cats have retractable claws. We're designed to climb through. They dig into the bark of trees. Go forward. Cheetahs need traction on the ground. And so what they do is have those nails out all the time, kind of like built-in cleats. So that's one adaptation. You'll also see that they have a really long tail. That acts as a counterbalance. So as they're weaving in and out of those tall grasses of the savanna, helps balance them, making really quick and sharp turns. Those are just a couple of many adaptations that cheetahs have to be fast runners. But does anybody know how fast cheetahs can run?
75.
I heard all the right answers. Yeah, we say 60 to 70 miles an hour. That's their top speed, making them the world's fastest land animal. Not the fastest animal. There are other animals in the world that are faster than a cheetah. But land animals, cheetahs are by far the fastest. Again, 60 to 70 miles an hour. And the really cool thing is they can be standing still and then moving 60 miles an hour only 3 seconds later. So 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, to me, is pretty impressive. There is a lot of cost, though, associated with getting to those top speeds. So they can only maintain a sprint for about 30 seconds to a minute. They're definitely not built for endurance. It means they have to catch whatever they're hunting in 30 seconds to a minute. They actually do catch their food about 50% of the hunting they go on, so they don't always catch their food. They do need to recover as well. So that recovery time after a sprint or a hunt can last anywhere from about 30 minutes to all the way over an hour. So if it's really hot outside, they might need a bit longer to recover when it gets cooler outside. And the other fun fact you can take home for today is in one run, again about 30 seconds to a minute, these guys will burn about 1,200 to 2,000 calories. So a lot of cost is associated with those runs, with those sprints. What that also means, they need to conserve their energy. So if you're on safari in Africa, or even here at Busch Gardens, you see the cheetahs on the exhibit, chances are they're going to be laying down and not running. And that's because cheetahs, again, do conserve their energy. All predators conserve energy. These guys will lay down about 18 hours a day. So a 24-hour block of time, they will lay down.
It is my book.
They will lay down about 18 of those hours. And again, they have to be fully energized and ready to hunt. If they waste energy, and then later in the day rolls around and it's time to hunt, they're probably going to be too tired to actually catch their food. So it's really important that they don't waste energy. And that is instinct. All predators do conserve energy. Larger cats, lions, and tigers, they'll rest even longer than a cheetah. Some say up to 20 to 22 hours a day for a lion or a tiger. So cheetah's 18 hours a day. Isn't even quite that long as those bigger cats. The other thing I should tell you is that while he looks cute and cuddly, these guys do not make great pets. We do not recommend having large exotic cats at home as pets. It sounds kind of funny to say, but that is actually a huge problem here in the United States. We have lots of lions and tigers and hybrids of the two at home, private ownership, and roadside zoos. That usually does not end well for the animals or
He's chewing on it.
It does take a lot of experience in a controlled environment to work with these guys in this environment safely. So I can tell you, I love working with the cheetahs, but I would not want one of them at home as a pet. Not many cheetahs are here in the United States as pets, but in the Middle East, there are lots of cheetahs. They're seen as a status symbol. Okay. They are seen as a status symbol, and what that usually means is people like to keep them at home as pets, and they're usually taken right out of Africa in those scenarios. So not only do they end up not in good living conditions, but we don't need to take any more cheetahs out in the wild. That's for sure. So while they do look cute and cuddly,